Hello. So today we're out walking along the River Ouse, going from a place called Southease down to Newhaven. I'm here with son and a daughter. So in total I think the river's about 35 miles long, but we're not doing anything like that today. We were going to start off from Newhaven, which we did go to do, but the path that was marked supposedly as a public footpath, there wasn't one, and we just ended up with a... You right? Oh dear. Sorry. And we just ended up with a locked gate going across the railway track that we couldn't get across, and it all looked private, so I thought, okay. So what we decided to do was go further up to a place called Southease, where there's a youth hostel, and I know you can park around there. So now we've decided to walk down towards Newhaven and see if I can find out where this mystery path goes, or whether it just comes to a dead end. I'm hoping it won't come to a dead end, so that we can cross the river and go back up the other side, but we shall see. So here we go on the river. Newhaven is dead ahead. I think that's the outskirts. Completely deserted, just us. Might be because it's so windy, but it's never that busy. I've been here a few times and it's usually fairly quiet. You right, Trav?
Yeah, that one might be a bit hard.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed to squeeze through it. Well, you're okay now. Okay, we're beginning to get a bit nearer towards Newhaven, so we'll see where the paths are. I think my lad's talking about watching Waterloo Road because he hears there's a new series and he loves it. Oh yeah, Grange Hill. He's just got BritBox, so he's watching all the old series, and I remember watching it when it came out, and so all the kids in it now are like my age and older. It makes you feel old. But anyway, hopefully doing this walking will get me a bit fitter. So, not sure if that's Piddinghoe, because I know there is Lewis, and you probably can't see it at the moment, but it's a really large building with a couple of giant, what looks like chimneys, and I think it's some sort of waste reclamation site. That was where we were supposed to start from, but we couldn't find the path. But either way, you can probably see in the distance there's some boats. So obviously boats do occasionally go on the river. I have to say, when I went to the Arran the other week, I didn't see any boats either. Maybe it's the time of year or something to do with the tides. I have been on boats, small boats occasionally, but I'm not a boating person, so I couldn't say. But I remember on the Arran we went to Littlehampton, and there was a marina. You have to walk through a marina, and there was hundreds of boats and not one single one on the river, which I thought was strange, but there you go. Okay, so an update. We are starting to get close to Newhaven. I don't know what that building is there, but it's a wreck. It's sort of raining a bit. Should we go down on this bit? It's sort of raining. I don't know whether it's worth putting the raincoats on, because I know what happens whenever we put the raincoats on. It stops raining and we get too hot. But I'm going to give it another minute. Ooh. give it another minute. If it carries on, we'll put the raincoats on. Put the covers on the rucksacks, and then it will stop raining. Right, so this thing ahead, I believe, is like a reclamation stroke recycling centre, stroke something to do with rubbish, which would make sense, as I don't know if you can see them, but there's thousands of birds beside it. This is where we tried to come up from, and we couldn't find a way through. So we're still on a footpath. So what's now going to be interesting is where it goes and can we get out? If not, well, maybe it is a dead end. If we can't get out, we're going to turn around and go straight back up to Southease. But we shall see. Right, we're getting to Newhaven, and where we couldn't find a way through. But now, dead ahead, as you can probably see, there's a sign. It says public footpath. We can't go through there, because that's the rubbish, whatever place it is. But where we couldn't come earlier, there's now signs. 3 of them. 2 of them are going the same way. One of them leading up to the industrial estate that we couldn't get through earlier. So we're going to carry on down here. I nearly trod in some mud. We'll carry on down here, see where it takes us, see if we get blocked, because it definitely says public footpath. So it makes you wonder if someone's blocked it off, or I was just a bit stupid earlier and couldn't find a way through. Okay, so there actually does seem to be a path, but not where we thought, on the side. We have to cross the railway and there's no lights. Trav, but hold my hand. Okay, you ready? Yeah. Right, we can see for miles. We go through this little gap. This seems to be the path. Here, look. No. This looks like a proper footpath. We'll see where this comes out. Hopefully it comes out somewhere. And then we can go back up the other side, rather than having to walk back up the way we came, which is boring. It'd be more fun getting to see the other side of the river. So we're walking alongside the railway track now. The river is over to the right, but we couldn't stay exactly next to it. So what happens now is we've got to walk through, I believe, an industrial estate, and then town. And here's where we missed. Look, there. That's where we could have, no sign. Do you remember we walked down here? We must have walked straight past that. No. Okay. So now we've got to walk through town to get to the, I think it's a swing bridge, cross over the river, back up the other way. So we're just crossing over. That is the sea. Sorry about the noise. That's where we're going back up in just a second. Back up the river to Southease. You alright, Trav? Okay? I know, we'll get lunch soon. So, just as it's lunchtime, we found a bench. We do have chairs as well, but it's much nicer if we don't have to set them all up. And it being 1:01 PM, our lunch bench awaits. How you doing, Grandad? I called him Grandad when he starts going really slow. We're never going to get back if you go that slow. Huh? It's how you do it. Be dark.
It's mad, like anyway.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's going to be dark the rate you're going.
Anyway, fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
All right then. I'll have to get the head torch out then if it gets dark. What, go slow?
Yeah.
We're walking up the other side of the river, back to Southease from Newhaven, after that lovely trip through Newhaven town centre. And I believe we're going to have to leave the river in a bit to go around those riverside houses. So we've taken a detour because we can't walk in front of those houses on the river, and we're going up a reasonably steep hill that seems to be called, or is called, Harping Hill, because the reason being it was either go up this hill and come back down it, or walk along a main road with no footpath and some cars driving like lunatics. So especially with Trav, or anyway, didn't really fancy walking very far along there, hence we go up the hill and then we turn off, go back down and rejoin. Right, so we're not sure, we're completely off the path and walking through some private gated area, but the guy who just drove past didn't stop and say, "Get off my land."
Oh,
There's a walkway. Freya's panicking that we'd be shut in here for the night. We made it out. Right, this is the main road. Well, I don't know, I've just followed what I thought. Ah, I bet you we should have come down here. No, hang on, look. What does this say? Public bridleway. So we are allowed through there. Yes, we are finally back to the river after that massive detour. Still, it's quite nice going through a bit of countryside as well. But we're now back on track, and you won't be able to see that on the video, I don't think, but straight up there, can you see it? That green strip, that's the bridge. That's where our destination is. That's not very far, you can see it. If you can see it, it can't be too far. So we're getting there. What time is it now, Trav? 2:30, so done about 6 miles. 2:30, and by the time we'd done all our little shenanigans and driven up, it was gone 11, I think. I think by the time we set off, it would have been about 11, wouldn't it? 12, 1, 2, so that's 3.5. Less we had lunch, which was about 30, 40 minutes, so a couple of hours. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we're a bit further down, we're nearly actually back. So across to the right is the Youth Hostel. I say it's Southease, but Southease is actually a tiny little place up to the left. So it's called the Youth YHA South Downs, I think. And then there's a footbridge further down there, and the steep hill you go up, that's part of the South Downs way. So now in front of us is the bridge we started at this morning, and it was originally built, here you go, know my facts, in 1880. Swing bridge. I think I mentioned earlier there used to be lots of boats coming up and down, and they petered out in the 50s. Anyway, apparently the last time the swing bridge was used was in 1967, and it was never needed after that. And I don't know if it was to keep it repaired, but they effectively, I think in the 80s, stopped stopped it being able to swing. So they blocked up the swing bit. And there are actually, yes, Trav's got a sore leg. Don't know how, I think he might have stung himself. And anyway, there is actually a sign a bit before it that says weak bridge. So back across the river, so second bridge of the day. So down there is Newhaven, we've just been to. Up there, somewhere you can't see it, gets up and round to the left is Lewis. It's a car park. Used to be a farm until it was sold to the Youth Hostel people. Yeah, it is definitely called Whitechase South Downs because I can see the sign now. Okay guys, we are back. So that is a little tour for you of the River Ouse from Southease to Newhaven, back to Southease, which was meant to be Newhaven to Southease, back to Newhaven. But either way we found it in the end. Thank you, bye.